Well, I love a rainy night, I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good. Well, I love a rainy night, it's such a beautiful sight. I love to feel the rain on my face, taste the rain on my lips. In the moonlight shadows, showers wash all my cares away. I wake up to a sunny day, 'cause I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Ooh, ooh. I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good. Well, I love a rainy night, it's such a beautiful sight. I love to feel the rain on my face, taste the rain on my lips. In the moonlight shadows, puts a song in this heart of mine, puts a smile on my face every time, 'cause I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Ooh, I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Ooh, ooh. Showers wash all my cares away. I wake up to a sunny day, 'cause I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. You can see it in my eyes. Yeah, I love a rainy night, 'cause it makes me high. Ooh, I love a rainy night. No, I do. Yeah, yeah, I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. You can see it in my eyes. I love a rainy night. Makes me high. Well, I love a rainy night. I love you too. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night.
As we gather here this morning to farewell Kerry, please know that as his family and his friends, you are bringing immense comfort and strength to everyone around you. On behalf of Marlene and the family, I warmly welcome you here today as we honour Kerry's 76 years of life. Your presence is so greatly appreciated. To those who are unable to be with us here today and are joining us by live stream, a very warm welcome is extended to you also, and a special shout out to family who could not be here with us. My name is Delma Carpenter and I'll be your celebrant, and along with Peter and the staff from Parkside Funerals, we feel very privileged to have been asked to conduct Kerry's service for you. And please, a little reminder, if you haven't done so already, now is the time to turn your mobile phones onto silent. Kerry was a devoted and loving husband, a much-loved father, great pop, and loyal and treasured friend. A quiet and reserved man, Kerry never sought the spotlight. He just quietly went about whatever he was doing. It was Kerry's patient and friendly nature that made him approachable and well liked by everyone that knew him. He was easygoing and adaptable, always willing and happy to help and lend a hand when needed. Kerry had a good sense of humour and especially loved to torment Marlene, who was often his main target for teasing. Just as each relationship Kerry had in his life was unique, it's likely that his unexpected passing will also impact each of you very differently. And as we travel through the journey of grief, It too will be unique and a very personal experience for each one of you. During our time together today, take comfort in knowing that your grief is being honoured, and perhaps share some stories of Kerry when you gather after the service today. And I'm certain there'll be a lot of you taking the time to remember Kerry and the relationship you had with him both today and into the future. And this will keep his memory alive in your heart as you adjust to your life without him. It is important to acknowledge that life for some will never be the same since Kerry's passing. Kerry will be missed by many people, but none more so than his family. Marlene, as Kerry's wife, experienced his love and caring nature for 50 years. They were partners in marriage and everything that life offered. And throughout the many years they shared the love they had for their children and extended family. They were celebrating their golden wedding anniversary on Saturday the 18th, the day that Kerry was admitted to hospital. Marlene treasures the gold earrings he bought her for their anniversary. Teresa and Jean and Darlene and Rebecca had a proud father who wanted the very best for his children, always there, supporting them in everything that they did. And when they brought someone special into their lives, he was happy for them too. And Jake and Bryce, Taylor, Charlotte and Alexander, as Kerry's grandchildren, experienced the love of their pop who couldn't see enough of them. And little great-granddaughter Luca was Pop's little treasure, and while she is only 20 months old, I'm sure that you will all tell her stories about her Pop in the future. For Kerry, family was the core of who he was. His family meant so much to him. So let's now take a look at his life, as told to me by his family. Kerry Douglas was the firstborn child of Mari and Douglas Pegus. He was born on the 9th of September 1947 in Burnie. Kerry had a sister Heather who is here with us today. As a young boy, Kerry's parents owned a shop on Marine Terrace just west of where the BP service station is today. They worked long hours to keep the shop running, so Kerry often found himself spending a lot of time with his grandmother. She taught him how to play cards, introducing him to a game that became a lifelong passion. Kerry also spent a lot of time fishing, and with his Auntie Betty and Uncle Bill living next door to the shop, he had many visits to their house. After leaving school, Kerry worked at the papermakers in Burnie, working in the machine room in number 10. Socially, he played tennis with the papermakers team as well. And it was on a blind date at the Speedway that Kerry met Marlene Wilson. For Marlene, it was far from the ideal setting. She was nursing a hangover from the previous night escapades, and the roar of the engines and the fast movement of the cars made it difficult for her to fully engage. We can only imagine Marlene. Despite the less than perfect circumstances, they managed to find common ground and enjoyed each other's company, and went on to exchange vows on the 18th of May 1974 at the Catholic Church in Penguin. Making their home in Montello, they welcomed the birth of their children, Teresa, Jean, Darlene and Rebecca. After a time and with a larger family, they moved to Ridgely for the extra space that they needed, and in later years moved back to Burnie. Kerry was a family man and loved to do things with his kids. He followed them in their sporting pursuits, taught them how to play cards, and enjoyed taking them fishing. And these are just to name a few. Favourite places to go fishing were at Lake Cara, the Pet Dam, and the mouth of the Blythe River. Teresa can remember the time they went to the Blythe to fish, and she said Dad, with his fishing rod in hand, cast his line into the water and unintentionally hooked a girl who was swimming nearby. We don't know who got the biggest shock, but needless to say, on this occasion, Kerry didn't reel his catch in, give it a kiss and throw it back in the water. Taking you back to Kerry's work career, after Papermakers closed, he moved to work in the machinery room at the pulp. and around 1992 he semi-retired, left the pulp and found part-time work at Toyota detailing cars. He also worked for a time at Cartridge World and later went on to set up his own lawn mowing business. Kerry mowed lawns for real estate clients, but it was working for the elderly that he found most satisfying. Having a natural rapport with older people than himself, Kerry, with his warm and compassionate nature, was happy to help older clients with their lawns and other jobs that might need doing. In retirement, nothing suited him more than to join the senior sits, where he became involved in teaching others to play cards, mainly 500. Having grown up around card playing and having a good memory, Kerry's skills were unmatched. He seemed to know every card that had been played, yet he never flaunted his ability, instead offered his tips and encouragement to others. Kerry thrived in the social atmosphere of senior citizens, forming lasting friendships, and his warm and friendly nature made him a favourite among members. In addition to his card games, he discovered a passion for indoor bowls, with his skills on the bowling green matching those on the card table. 3 years ago, Kerry took on a new role as treasurer of the club. Other interests for Kerry were following the horse and car racing. Every Saturday afternoon was relaxation time for Kerry. He'd sit back in his armchair and watch the horse racing and try to pick a winner. And come October, he'd be glued to the TV watching the Bathurst 500 from first thing in the morning until he went to bed. Family outings to Simon Plains to watch the car racing was another enjoyment for Kerry. He also had a favourite pastime, which was growing vegetables. He had a huge veggie patch when they lived in Ridgeley and enjoyed nothing better than being outside digging and planting and harvesting his produce. And that the family told me his excess produce went in the freezer and they were the lucky recipients of what he had left over as well. When I asked Marlene and the family, did Kerry like food, they said he loved food. Dining out, he liked to go for a buffet, or you could eat meal. The family said he was still going back for seconds when everyone else had finished. Around 14 years ago, Kerry took over the family kitchen. Marlene was made redundant, not that she minded, and Kerry cooked all their meals. Marlene told me to begin with, his cooking was passable, but after watching lots of cooking programs, Kerry mastered the art, and Marlene said their meals were very good, especially his stir-fries. Kerry was thrifty and careful. He liked a bargain and making sure that nothing went to waste, or he made sure that nothing went to waste. And the kids told me, including his clothes in his wardrobe that he wore for a lot of years. A creature of habit, Kerry was always early for an appointment. He was routinal, with the evening meal served at the same time every night, and even his dog Pixie was fed at the same time. The other day when I met the family, Pixie was making her presence felt, scratching on the door to come inside, and I'm sure she is missing her master as well. Kerry sadly passed away at the North West Regional Hospital on the 27th of May 2024. And he'll be dearly missed, not only by those who loved him, but by those who have had the privilege to have known him. As we mentioned before, Kerry had a quiet nature, but when it came to his taste in music, it didn't reflect his personality. We're now going to see his life through photos with an audio-visual presentation while listening to his favourite rock band, AC/DC. AC/DC. Kerry would have liked that. Marlene and the family have asked me to thank the nursing staff at the Northwest General Hospital who were wonderful in their care of Kerry and the support of the family. They would also like me to express their sincere gratitude to you for being here today to farewell Kerry and to pay tribute to his life. They'd like to invite you to join them here at Parkside for refreshments following the service. As we near the final part of the service, it is important to remember that the essence of Kerry does not die. Kerry touched many people from all walks of life, and the stories and the conversations we've shared about him will remain with you always. He has lived, and his living has made a difference and touched us in many ways. We remember the time shared with him and for the man that he was. Kerry was a kind-hearted, true gentleman, and we thank him for the legacy that he has left. I would ask you now to please stand as we take comfort in saying the Lord's Prayer, which will be followed by the committal. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. As much as there is a sunrise, there must be a sunset, and the rejoicing over birth will one day become the tears of loss. This is the journey that we all must travel, and right now it's a journey our dear Kerry must take. Tenderly and reverently we commit the body of Kerry Douglas Pegus to the purifying elements and ultimately to the precious earth, from which all things come, unto which all things in the end return. In the words of Mark Twain, warm summer sun, shine kindly here. Warm southern wind, blow softly here. Green sod above, lie light, lie light. Good night, dear heart, good night, good night. Kerry, may you rest in perfect peace. I'd now ask the senior citizens members to form their guard of honour.
Side by side we stick together to uphold the Magpie's name. See, the barrackers are shouting, as all barrackers should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood. Side we stick together to uphold the Magpie's name. See, the barrackers are shouting, as all barrackers should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood. Side by side we stick together to uphold the Magpie's name. See, the barrackers are shouting, as all barrackers should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
side we stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See, the barrackers are shouting, as all barrackers should. Oh, the premiership's a case.